U.S. President Donald Trump cancels summit with Russia. Hanoi ready for UN Convention on Countering Cybercrime signing ceremony. Realizing the target of 20 enterprises per 1,000 people.
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Hoàng Yên, and here we go, the first half of the show. U.S. President Donald Trump announced on October 22nd that he has canceled his planned meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. However, he expressed confidence that the Russian leader is ready to engage in further talks and that a deal on Ukraine issue remains possible.
Mark Rutte, Secretary General of NATO.
Speaking during a meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, President Trump said he decided to call off the meeting with President Putin, citing that the current timing is not appropriate and that discussions were unlikely to yield the desired results. He stressed, however, that the meeting could still take place at a more suitable time in the future. The U.S. leader also admitted that recent exchanges with Russia have often failed to produce results, but added that he believes his Russian counterpart is now open to more dialogue. On the same day, the White House announced new sanctions targeting Russia's oil exports, aiming to pressure Moscow to end its military campaign in Ukraine. President Trump said he hopes these measures will only be temporary.
North Korea announced on October 23rd that it has successfully test-fired 2 hypersonic missiles, calling them a new and important weapon system designed to strengthen Pyongyang's war deterrence capability.
According to the Korean Central News Agency, the 2 hypersonic missiles were launched from Ryokpo district in the capital, Pyongyang, toward the northeast and accurately hit their designated targets in the Kweisang Highlands of North Hamgyong province. The test was part of North Korea's ongoing defense development program, aimed at enhancing the sustainability and effectiveness of its strategic deterrence against potential adversaries. South Korea's military earlier reported that North Korea fired several short-range ballistic missiles toward the northeast at around 8:10 a.m. local time on October 22nd, about 6:10 a.m. Hanoi time, with the missiles flying roughly 350 kilometers. Military sources said the projectiles may have been Hwasongpo 11 Dia 4.5 tactical ballistic missiles, previously tested by North Korea in September last year. The missiles reportedly landed on land rather than in waters to the east. This marks North Korea's first ballistic missile launch since President Lee Jae-myung took office in June, and its first weapons test in about 5 months.
On the morning of October 23rd at the National Convention Center, the President Lee Kung just inspected the final rehearsals in preparation for the signing ceremony and the high-level conference of the United Nations Convention on Countering Cybercrime, also known as the Hanoi Convention. The event would take place in Hanoi on October 25th and 26th.
After inspecting the preparations and listening to reports, President Luong Quang emphasized that this is a highly significant event, carrying deep political, diplomatic, and national importance. He noted that it marks the first time a global multilateral convention in a field of major international concern will bear the name of Vietnam's capital, Hanoi. The President requested relevant agencies to thoroughly review all aspects of the program, especially ceremonial procedures, reception, security, and media coordination, ensuring the signing ceremony is conducted with solemnity, precision, and professionalism, while reflecting Vietnam's image as a proactive, friendly, and responsible member of the international community. The signing ceremony of the United Nations Convention on Countering Cybercrime, themed Combating Cybercrime Shared Responsibility Towards the Future, will be held on October 25th and 26th, 2025 in Hanoi. The event is not only a legal milestone, but also a platform to strengthen partnerships among governments and international organizations, serving as a forum to promote the implementation of the UN Convention and enhance global cooperation in combating cybercrime.
Upcoming are some updated news.
The Autumn Fair 2025 will take place from October 26th to November 4th at the Vietnam Exhibition Center in Dong An District, Hanoi. The event is expected to attract more than 2,500 domestic and international enterprises, featuring 3,000 standard booths showcasing a wide range of signature and key products across multiple sectors, such as industrial goods, science and technology innovations, agricultural products, processed foods, consumer goods, services, and tourism. With its largest scale ever, diverse content, and the most modern setup to date, the fair is expected to welcome hundreds of thousands of visitors and business participants each day. It will also draw a large number of international partners and enterprises seeking trade connections and investment opportunities in Vietnam.
On the afternoon of October 22nd, at the conclusion of the third meeting of the Steering Committee for the Construction of Vietnam's nuclear power plant, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh, head of the committee, directed ministries and relevant agencies to accelerate the implementation of the Ninh Thuan nuclear power plant projects to meet the nation's growing energy demands in the new development phase. The Prime Minister requested that negotiations on the cooperation agreement with Russia be completed, along with the necessary legal frameworks, by November 2025. He also urged the early conclusion of talks with Japan regarding the Ninh Thuan II project, and asked for a comprehensive report to be submitted to the Politburo on the progress of nuclear power development, in line with Resolution Number 70 on ensuring national energy security through 2030, with a vision toward 2045.
The People's Committee of Ông Khe and Province has issued new instructions for implementing construction permit procedures in line with guidance from the Ministry of Construction, consistent with the two-tier local government model. Under the new framework, commune and ward-level People's Committees are authorized to issue construction permits for Level 3 and Level 4 projects, as well as individual housing. This clear decentralization is expected to shorten processing times, improve state management of urban planning and construction order, and help promote infrastructure development to meet the province's growing construction demands.
The resolution number 68 of the Politburo on private economic development sets the goal of increasing the number of enterprises nationwide to 2 million by 2030, which is equivalent to 20 business per 1,000 people. So what solutions are needed for Nghệ An to turn this target into reality and develop the province into a national level growth hub in line with the spirit of the 20th Provincial Party Congress resolution for the 2025-2030 term? More in the story today.
Implementing the Politburo's resolution, number 68, the Provincial Party Committee has issued Plan number 358, setting a target for Nghệ An to have around 30,000 to 32,000 enterprises by 2030 and about 40,000 by 2045, contributing over 60% of the province's GRDP. Through a series of comprehensive measures, including strong administrative reforms, expansion of online public services, and new preferential policies to attract investment, the province has seen a notable rise in the number of newly established enterprises and household businesses. In the first 9 months of 2025, nearly 2,500 new businesses were registered in Nghệ An, up 46.8% compared to the same period last year.
We learn as we work. Step by step, we've been able to expand our operations, develop in many markets, and take on a wide range of construction projects.
Although there have been positive results, the goal of reaching 20 active enterprises per 1,000 people remains highly challenging, as the number and density of businesses in Nghệ An are still lower than the national average.
In my opinion, this is quite an ambitious goal. To achieve it, I hope that in the coming time, both the central government and the province will introduce more breakthrough policies.
Currently, the private sector accounts for over 95% of operating enterprises, employing more than 80% of the workforce, and has played a crucial role in driving growth, boosting budget revenues, and enhancing the province's competitiveness. Increasing both the number and quality of enterprises is seen as the key to promoting private sector development and turning it into a core driver of the economy.
The last story just ended our news today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye for now.